Waiting for the little light to go on. I guess it must be going on. My name is Ken Persky, and I've been part of Cashback World for about 5 years now. And I wanted to come up with something that really showed what the power of a unit is and what $75 potentially each month could grow into. And here's some questions that I'm going to kind of bring up right up front. And the question is, how many times does your money run out before the end of the month? How many months this year has that happened to you? And statistically in North America, about 60% of people run out of money before the end of the month. So now they have to go into debts or whatever they have to do to be able to get by at least once a month or once a year. And are you financially set? If you happen to be one of those people of the 40%, what about retirement? What about earning extra income to help pay off debts or to have the lifestyle that you're looking for? And how much extra would you like per month to be able to get by in your retirement or even as you're doing right now? And our goal is to basically answer those questions going forward today.
Cool. My name is, excuse me, Arlene-Laskey, and I am also a marketer with Lyconet, and we're all in the company called My World. That's our umbrella company. And through My World, we have lots of different divisions, and what we are in is the division called Lyconet. Although we're shoppers too, but that's a different story. And so Lyconet is for people that want a little more than just to save some money on their everyday expenses, which is fine. And if that's all you want, no problem. But if you want more than that, if you want to earn an income to help with your dreams, goals, and wishes, or maybe something tangible like a car or a house, or maybe something like your retirement or paying off debt, then Lyconet is a really good way to do that. With our company, remember, you're not selling anything, but you earn when people buy everything. And the income is based on the growth of our shopping community. So the more we shop and share and grow our community, the better everybody is.
Okay. So I was a financial advisor for about 3.5 years, and typically I would sit down with people on their traditional side and I'd look at their numbers and I'd save them anywhere between $500 and $3,000 a month. And most people would say, well, if this was as good as you say, the bank would have already told me that. Well, trust me, the banks are out to make income for themselves. So in most traditional investing is that we'll show you in the next slide kind of how that looks like. Door number 2, which is what network marketing with Lyconet is how can, with a very simple system, and I wanted to come up with one that did no harm, how do we create that kind of a system that we can show you in a half an hour why potentially the Lyconet system is just that much better? So basically what the slide is every time I'd sit down with somebody, it said, this slide says when you start, the earlier you start in investing and you have a longer time to compound, the better off you're going to be. If you put $300 a month for 7 years, and I never understood why you'd stop, but that's what the thing said, and it compounded till you were 65, you'd have about $130,000. On the right-hand side, life happens, and that's what most of us happens, is you get married, you get a family, and you start later putting the same $300 in for 17 years instead of 7, and you have about the same money. So let's look what that looks like when you get to retirement.
So residual income is the best kind of money there is. It's money you work hard for up front, and it pays you long term. This is great if you can write a best-selling novel or a hit song, or in this example, have a whole bunch of money in the bank earning interest, or other growth vehicles in that traditional investing side. But in this example, money in the bank earning 5% interest. And remember the last slide, they were saving up about $130,000. So when you see the arrow there, it's pointing to 120. So that's close. That's going to give you about $500 a month. Well, $500 a month can make a big difference in people's overall financial picture if they have other streams of income as well. Is $500 a month enough to retire on? Not for me. Maybe not for you. So if you look at the list there, where would you like to be financially with monthly residual income? for me, I'd like to be between $5,000 and $10,000 or more. My plan is much more, but a good start for retirement, replacing my income, would be the 5,000 to 10,000. So I need 1.2 to 2.4 million, earning 5% interest. Well,
and you're getting old.
Yeah, I know.
Older.
I don't have a lot of time before retirement to accumulate all this money. And is the bank really going to pay me 5% interest? I guess if you have over $1 million, they might pay you a little more. I don't know.
I shouldn't have said to a girl that she's getting old.
Yeah,
I should have said, and you're getting older. I'm getting older. We don't have enough in the traditional investing part. We don't have enough time for the money that we have today to be able to compound to generate that much kind of income.
But we have a better way.
We have much a better way. So we have a new plan. Normal plan that you've ever seen, if you've ever gone into any networking presentation, is it says you work for 40 hours a week for 40 years and you retire on 40% of your income. And a lot of people are not even retiring on 40% of their income. Like it's tough at this moment in time. So our plan is you work for 40 minutes a day. You work for 40 months worth of strong effort. It's effort up front. We'll reward you going forward. So do you think 40 times your income would be something that you'd be wanting to have? Sounds like a pretty high number. Well, what if you just could replace the income that you have right now in 40 months? Does that sound something that's doable? The last thing that you said for investing is that you have to do this year after year after year after year, and potentially you're going to be 40% of your income. Well, what if you could do this in 40 months to replace the income that you have today? Is that something that you'd be interested in listening to?
Yes.
So how the program works. As a marketer, basically you get paid 1 to 5% cash back for a free loyalty card for basically spending money where you normally would anyways. You can refer members for free, and more importantly, you can refer merchants. If you happen to go to a restaurant and love that restaurant, and you tell other people what a great restaurant this is, and they go buy something there, you don't typically get paid. But if you referred that merchant and customers that you liked or people you didn't even know went and shopped at that place, you're gaining a residual income for that restaurant, and everything's starting to go forward. So let's say you refer marketers or merchants to this particular program. A merchant has a pre-approved fee that they're going to pay Cashback World if a Cashback World shopper seeks them out and goes and spend money there. There's a pre-approved fee. And the fee is paid to Cashback World. Cashback World takes 1 to 2% off the top, and the rest comes back to the membership. Now, if you're a merchant and a shopper shows up at your store and they don't have a free card, you can offer them a free card, saying, you know what, you're rewarding your existing customers, and statistics show that it takes 7 times more money to get a new customer. So wouldn't this a great way to keep the customers that you have, reward the customers that you have, and as they go shop in the Cashback World system, you can earn a residual income coming back. And that's where the global leverage is. This is in 47 countries. So when your customer that you signed up for a free loyalty card leaves your establishment and they go spend money outside your store, you can earn extra income. To me, that's the amazing part about what this program is.
And you might recognize a few of these cards. These are some popular loyalty cards in Canada with Cashback World in the middle, which is great. So all of these loyalty programs help you earn points or whatever towards maybe free groceries or flights or books or whatever, gas. But Cashback World is like a universal card. You can use it in 47 countries, like Ken said, plus you use it in all sectors. So it's not just tied to a particular grocery store or gas station. And you can go to the next bit. So one card worldwide. And if you are a loyalty merchant, you can have your own personally branded loyalty card that's still part of Cashback World, so you get all the great benefits. But your customers now have a piece of your business in their purse or their wallet. So they're advertising for you anytime they pull out their Cashback card to go shopping.
And they're also reminded where they got the free card.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty important.
Yeah.
So how does the system work as a shopper? So for an example, there's a $1,500 purchase. Everybody needs to have a refrigerator, some couches, or whatever it ends up being. And it's $1,500. This particular merchant is called a 7% merchant. So if I come and bought this furniture, the merchant would pay 7% if I had a card. And where does that 7% go to? In this particular example, 3% goes back to cashback. So that customer would get $45. Once you get above $10 in a week or however long it takes you, once you get above $10 in your Cashback World Piggy Bank, they send, at least in Alberta, they send you a text at about 6 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday morning. Your phone goes, bing, we have money for you. It takes a day or two for it to get into your bank account, and now you go spend it wherever you want. And you're also, as that shopper, is going to generate something called points, the same thing as we understand with all other loyalty cards. Well, each shopping point is a $7.50 to $15 maximum future savings. So if a merchant wants to get rid of, blow out some kind of product, they might have a shopping point deal, and you're going to save money in the future. Now, Cashback World in this example is going to take 1%. So they're going to get $15 of the money that was paid directly to Cashback World. They take 1% of that, and that goes towards company expenses. And we've talked about Greenfinity and Child and Family Foundation. So a small portion of all the shopping that happens helps fund these two foundations. Now, I, as the marketer, sign that person up. What do I get? Because I sign that person up directly to me, 2 levels. This is how the system works. As a marketer bonus, I would get paid $7.50, a 0.5% would come to me, so I'd get paid $7.50. I, as the marketer, there's 20 shopping points. Each one of those shopping points is $1.50. So I, as a marketer, would gain another $30, so I'd get $37.50. So what does that look like? So as the shopper, they got $45 and 20 shopping points for future savings, put directly in their bank account. Did they do anything for that? Nope, they just went and spent money where they would normally, which is the whole idea of a loyalty card. Now, I, as a marketer, get paid $37.50, and I didn't even go shopping. Does that sound fair to you? Like, to me, it sounds like a pretty good system. Why I'd want to be a marketer. To me, it's, some people say, I only want to be a shopper. I don't want to learn any of that other stuff. Forget it. I don't want to know. Please. And I've seen it. So to me, somebody wants to be a shopper. I'm okay with earning money while you go shopping, and you're okay because you're actually earning cash back on things you buy anyways. But what if you wanted to listen to what the other alternative is? So I, as a marketer, go and buy exactly the same couch and spend the money exactly the same place. I get the $45 in this example put into my bank account. I'm also getting the shopping points for future savings. Nothing changes with what the company gets. I, as the marketer, I don't get the friendship bonus because I'm spending the money myself, but I still have the 20 shopping points that I'm going to recash. So $45 plus $30 recash, I get all $75 back. It's important to understand looking at what the $75 is, because $75 in our system generates something called a unit, which is we're going to coach and teach you in the next little while. And in our system, as a marketer, you can recash that $75. So it's like a coupon book. So $75 minus 30, there's $45 worth of coupons, and you're going to learn this system as we go forward. You're not going to pick this all up tonight, and we don't want to overwhelm you with too much stuff.
So what is a unit? A unit, you can see on the right there, it's this little funnel shape, and I like to call it the money funnel because as more units come into the system, you get commissions and bonuses paid out. So it's a great system. So how do you get the units? 50 shopping points equals 1 unit. You can get that unit through shopping and accumulate shopping points over time until you get 50, and then 1 unit goes into your balance program there. Or you can get it up front with discount vouchers, which is the same as Easy Shop Plus. Easy Shop Plus is the monthly purchase of discount vouchers. $75 gives you 50 shopping points, gives you 1 unit in your balance program. And The balance program part of it means that as units go in one side versus the other, they kind of balance out. And when you get a certain number on one side and a certain number on the other side, which we're going to show you, that's when the commissions start happening.
Mm-hmm. So we'll explain what she just said in the next couple slides. So you can start out with something called 1 unit, 4 units, or 7 units, depending on this is just 3 options basically to get started. There's a $49 starter kit for all 3 options. This is not something that's mandatory. You are not forced to do this, but in my opinion, it's not a bad way to get started, because that way you get 15 friendship flyers, you get access to the back office, and you're just starting out your business that much easier. $49, in my opinion, is not a bad way to get started. So what you're doing is starting out with 1 unit, $75, and you're just going to go from there. So 1 unit, $75 is 50 shopping points. 3 units, $225. And I recommend potentially that you start with 4 units. So that's the medium, and the best is large. So let's I like to go good, better, starting with 4, and best is starting with 7. And we'll kind of describe the first 2 to you. And if you see the added benefit of every $50 or 50 shopping points that you put into the system can actually earn you $765, let's just see what that looks like. Okay, so for an example, if you started with 1 unit, $124, so $75 for the unit and $49 for the starter kit, this is basically what happens in the first month. Remember, it's a loyalty card. If everybody went and spent $300 in the Cashback World system as a shopper, you'd earn about $7.50 in a marketer bonus. You only get the marketer bonus, and you only get all the commissions if you're on Easy Shop Plus, and we're going to, again, show you what that looks like in a little tiny bit. So in your first month, you get back $16.75 of your $75 unit. Not of your unit. You'd earn income $16.75 by promoting 5 people starting with 1 unit. Now, what happens if your 5 people taught 5 people to do exactly the same thing? They started with $124. They put $75 in the second month. Everybody shopping about $300. You'd have about $10,000 in shopping, and you'd earn $100 in marketer bonus. Your units are starting to do something called cycling. So your units are all in blue. All the other marketers in your system are all in yellow or orange, depending on how your eyesight looks. Your units are starting to cycle. So what it looks like is 16 units on the left, 16 units on the right, and all you've done is put 2 people in the system. And as this starts, it's like a teeter-totter. As the units start to go 3 on the left and 3 on the right, this unit would pay me $9. When it went to 5.5, it would pay me $15. It went to 10.10 and 15.15. You'd gather all of these as what we call attaboys or attagirls. They reward you for building your shopping community. So you'd make about $78. Your career commission, if you're on Easy Shop Plus, you get paid for each one of those points. There's a point value that you're going to get. And more importantly, you're going to generate 3 bonus units. One's going to go to Canadian, one's going to go to the American continent, and one's going to go into international, and we're going to show you what that looks like in a couple slides from now. More importantly, you're going to earn about $234.50 in the second month. You have $200 in the system, and you're going to have about $250 out within your first month if you just follow this simple program. Okay? So what does it look like if you start with 4 units? So starting with 4 units is $349. 4 times 75 is $300 plus the starter kit of $349. And the way the system works is when that balance commission, that's the teeter-totter, starts to pay out, once you get above $10 in any form of being paid, there's 12 ways to get paid in Cashback World. Weekly, you get a message, how would you like 52 paychecks a year? And it drops directly in your bank account, and you spend it wherever you want. You're probably going to want to spend it back through the system because you're going to make extra money. So what does that look like? You'd have the same $750 bonus because of how the system works. Starting with 4, your 4 blue units are here. you would end up with about $51 in the balance commission, the teeter-totter. You'd have a career bonus of $45. And in this particular example, you'd have one bonus unit. So you'd make a little over $100 in your first month by having 5 people do 4 units each. And $103 is more than 75. You're going to put 75 into the second month. So now you have 424 in the system. You're potentially 25 people are putting $349 in the second month. You put $75 in yours. You have the same marketer bonus. A unit cycles. So what does a unit cycling mean? There's 35 units on the left and 35 units on the right. So did you have 35 people and 35 people? No. It worked out how many units each person had, and that just kind of falls into your money funnel, and the system starts to pay you. So what happens, the great part about having a unit cycling, 2 things, we're going to show you the second thing a little bit later, is you get $600 in Cashback World credit. So what does that mean? You can either order gift cards for free, as long as you're ordering over $300 at a time. They'll ship them directly to your house. Now you got gas and groceries for free. I'm a Cashback World merchant myself, so I sell grass. I sell sod people for front lawns. If one of my marketers got 35 and 35, what they could do is they could come buy $600 of sod off me. As soon as the fee is collected by Cashback World says, aha, we have the fee, and my customer would get paid $600 back in their personal bank account. And that's the 2 ways that you can do it. You don't have to spend all $600 at once. Maybe you spend $300, maybe $300. However, whatever you want to go back, and you have to shop back through the Cashback World system through either a small to medium merchant or buy gift cards. So that's your 2 options. And you're going to gain something called a career bonus. But the really big thing on this slide is in 2 months, you're generating 11 bonus units in the system. And 11 bonus units will pay you $165 each, potentially over the life of those units as they start to go forward. And you've earned another $1,100 in the next, in the second month. So you've earned just about $1,250, and all you have in the system is $424. Pause, pause, pause. Please listen.
So Ken said something else happens when you get 35 units on one side and 35 on the other. That unit that you had kind of gets you that's finished at that level, but you get something called a transfer unit, which is a thank you for growing your shopping community. It goes into a new balance category program. So the new one pays a little bit more in commissions for each of those increments of 3 and 3, 5 and 5, and so on. And each balance category, there's 5 of them, pays out more as you go. And by the time it's gone through all of those balance categories, it's worth over, or paid out over $24,000. Now that might take years to happen. That's okay. It's a progression, and you get paid out along the way, so you don't have to wait till the end for it to pay out, which is great. And you're not going to just have one of these, you're going to have a bunch going through at the same time.
So myself, I'm getting closer to retirement and closer to whatever life's going to bring me. If I happen to pass away, this is a willable asset. So maybe I don't get to see the added benefit of this going up to level 5, but my wife or my child probably will. And that's, again, that's the great part about what this program is.
And if you're 25 right now, you might see that happen in the next while. So it's pretty cool. And we do have other ways, like Ken said, there's 12 ways to be paid. So that's just a couple of examples. And there's also something called a national rotation. So you can earn money from customers shopping and getting units around the world. You don't have to live in those countries. You don't have to know people in those countries. You don't have to know the language. Once you have 7 units in your personal balance program, you can switch your Easy Shop Plus unit into the national rotation. And then every month, it's going to go to a different country. It'll go through different countries and also the different continental programs. So you get to benefit from the growth in those other countries is not just based on your own personal effort anymore. It's based on what is happening around the world with Cashback World and Lyconet.
So if you listen to what we just said, once you get to 7, on your 8th one that goes into the national program. And the program that we just showed you, if you started with 4 and they taught 4, and you started with 5 people with 4 and they taught exactly the same thing, you would actually have 11 bonus units that have dropped into the system, and all you have is 5 units in the system. So this is a potential way to get faster and to help cycle each person's country's units just that much faster.
And remember, each of those units is paying out, even just at level 1, $765 plus earning 4 bonus units.
Mm-hmm. So the brain, it's called the Lyconet sleepless night, and it's fun when you first start out.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to do this one?
Oh, sure. So we also have, like, the balance program is kind of one category of our income. The other category is the career commission levels. And that is based on how many shopping points in your organization in 1 month. And at different levels, you get paid different amounts. And then there's extra bonuses that come in, like the car bonus. And also at level 7 and above is the international bonus, which is a really cool thing because it is a little percent of all the shopping in all of Cashback World that month. Not even on your team, but people shopping around the country or around the world, and you get to benefit from that. It is pretty cool.
So right now there's 11 million shoppers growing daily. There's 125 to 130,000 loyalty merchants that people can go shopping at, and you get a small portion of all that shopping. Pretty cool. And you think a million points, come on, Ken. But how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So let's show in a diagram, and this is only for illustration purposes, but it can show you what the potential of this is. If you get 5 people, starting with 4 units each, in your second month, you're going to be earning potentially $150 to $450 a month. So remember back to the slide that we showed you, 120,000 to give you $500. Well, that's pretty close to this. And did it take you years and years and years of putting $300 a month away and compounding? No. Within month 2, you put $349 in the first month, $75 in the second month, and you taught people to do the same thing. So what happens if this happens in the third month? When you first start out, there's something called qualify and confirm in your first 90 days. So if whatever level you get to, the bonuses that are in that particular month, the small numbers here, you get $750 bonus no matter what happens for the next 6 months. You're going to earn somewhere between $750 and $2,300 in the first 3 months by teaching 5, get 4, and for 3 months you're teaching that. Now that sounds like a pretty good system to me. So do you think doing what you're doing right now, you would have $500,000 in some form of investing making you $2,000 a month? I don't know about you, but I don't think what I'm doing is going to do that. Like, nothing that I've ran into before in my life will give me $2,000 worth of residual income in 3 months. Now, what happens as this starts to go through, you would have 19,500 marketers potentially in the first 6 months. You're earning, actually the number here would be somewhere between 30,000 and 75,000 a monthly income. And that's a monthly income, and it's only going to grow from there if everything goes great and everything's wonderful. So what happens if you can do this one?
Oh, sure. So what if you don't get off to that amazing start? That's okay. It's not too late. If you stay on Easy Shop Plus, you get a lot of benefits. Whether or not you build a team, although there are definite advantages to building a team, but you stay on Easy Shop Plus and you get to benefit from commission eligibility always. Your units will grow over time. Your personal units grow as you add members to your team, but the international ones grow not based on your own efforts, on all of the global efforts, which is cool. And we're not saying this is an investment, but it is like a long-term savings vehicle for about the cost of a cup of coffee a day. $75 a month. You get on Easy Shop Plus. And the greatest thing is you can get paid back through Recash when you are doing your everyday shopping. You get some friends and family members also shopping. You get to recash all that shopping. So it doesn't even have to cost you anything.
Mm-hmm. And it's all those people that go, I don't want to do that networking thing, and I just want to have a free card.
Yeah,
Great.
and they're going to be happy because they're getting some cash back.
And the way that I try to describe to people is once you've earned your first $10 and you want to learn more, then come out to our meeting. Listen to what we have to say. And it all basically based on 1 cup of coffee a month. And are you going to be happy? We're going to be happy, basically learning. So what if all you had was 2 people? 2 people starting out with 4 units of $349 in the first month. Then you got happy fingers. And they got 2 people each month. It would take you till about month 5, duplicating 2 people get 2 people. And you'd be at $150 to $450 a month in your first 5 months. Remember, we said to get to $500 a month, it would take you years and years and years in normal investing. Well, this way is potentially $150 or $199 in your first month and $75 a month for the next 4 months. So you'd be about $400 in, and you'd already be at $150 to $450 a month. It's important to understand that in the cashback world system, only having 2 legs or 2 teams is not that beneficial. You want to actually have more than 2 legs, and that's other training, but it's just important to understand that having more than 2 legs is better. Mm-hmm. In the 6th month, in the 7th month, potentially you're at $750 to $2,300 in your first 7 months. You have about 255 marketers. It's called compounding. Compounding people's effort, and everybody's working together as a community. Now, how fast this grows is completely up to yourself. This is just for training presentation tonight.
So I kind of like Wayne of Wayne's World. He's gonna show his perspective.
Well, you know how these things start. One guy tells another guy something, and then he tells 2 friends, and they tell 2 friends, and they tell their friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. You know how these things go.
So it kind of gives you an idea. There used to be a shampoo commercial that did exactly the same thing, and it worked for them. So why can't it work for us?
Yeah.
So I'm a math person, and I know a lot of people don't like math. I know a lot of people really don't like math. So I had a great math teachers. I lived in St. Albert in grade 10 and 11, and I had a really smart math teacher, but he didn't know how to present it to the average person. So he would present to me, I would go into the workbook and I'd do all the questions, and then I'd listen to him kind of afterwards. And then I had the class would come to me afterwards and say, what did he just say? And I had the crazy part is I moved to Wetaskiwin, and I had the same math teacher in grade 12. And I would have 28 students come to me and say, what did he just say? And I go, well, if you do, for me, I can understand it in 3 steps. Someone who thinks they're smart in math or computers, nothing wrong with you people. You can't explain something without doing it. And you think 12 steps is the way that somebody who's doesn't understand math, that's the best way of doing something. And I always thought if you weren't that good at math, learning 12 steps is not the way to teach somebody. So here goes describing why 5 people doing 4 units is the best way of the system that I think is the easiest way to multiply. So if you do 4 units at $75 each, that'd be $300. You'd start with the starter kit. So you got 349 in here. You are going to get 5 people doing that. You'd have it'd be about 1,200 shopping points, but we won't get into semantics. You'd earn about $103 in your first month. You're going to get the shopping bonus. As your shoppers went shopping, you'd make $750, and your total commission is about another $96. 103 is more than 75. You're going to put 75. Oh, you got 5 people that are really confused and have no idea what they're doing. but they're trusting in you. So you're going to take $75 in the second month. Your 5 people are going to do the same thing, and they're going to teach their 5 friends each. So you'd have 30 in the system, or 31 with yourself, and you would have about 5,000 shopping points, because each person got 1,000 points each. You're at 5,000 shopping points. You're going to have about 10,000 in shopping. So you're going to gain an extra $100 in your bank account. I have to fix these. So there's cashback world credit. There's also the bonus on the units. This is actually supposed to be about 1,150, and 1,150 plus this one is about 1,250 is what I
Actually, the
described to you a little bit
commission
earlier.
included the balance commission and the career commission.
Somehow in my previous slide, I had more, and I don't know what I did. It's somewhere between 1,050 and 1,150 semantics.
I'll take either one.
Yeah, it's more importantly, this is more than $75. That's the gist of what I'm trying to say. And now you have 25 people going, I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm much happier because now I've started to earn even more money. That's kind of the way that I look at this. And it's more than 75. You're putting 75 back into the system. On your month 3, if everything went perfectly well, and if 5 got 5 and 5 got 5, you'd have potentially 125 people in the system. You'd have that same marketer bonus because you're only going to get paid 2 levels on the shopping, but probably people shopping is going to get higher, so it might be more, but we'll do on the low side. 3 more units are going to potentially cycle. Your commissions are going to go up. Your career bonus is going to be a minimum or the career bonus is $750. When you get to a level 3, you're going to make another $4,500. And now you have a crowd all starting to go in the same direction. And some of them are still looking over their shoulder going, what are we doing? And the one at the front says, don't worry about it. Just keep following us. Everything's going to be okay. And if you're a person that questions and you're a person that wants to have questions at the end of this, we'd be more than happy to answer them. At the bottom of this, the system that we're saying to the best of our ability as human beings, we're telling you how the system works. If you want to know, you go to your profile bubble on the top right-hand side and become a Like-A-Net marketer. You press downloads, you press compensation plan, and everything that we're saying is in the compensation plan in a Word document. It's very important for you to take the time out to look that up and read it. You may not understand it, but if we said something wrong, it always comes back to the written document. So you got a bunch of people all going in the same direction. You've put less than $500 in the system, and potentially you've earned somewhere between $5,700 and $5,800 in your first 3 months. So I look at $499 as a car payment. You have less than a car payment in a month or in 3 months. And when you drive that car off the lot, you've lost thousands of dollars. In this case, you've jumped in a vehicle that potentially is duplicatable, and you're earning income going forward. And according to the system, when you start out brand new, if you reach a level, you qualify and confirm in the same month. So potentially you're at a level 3, and we're going to show you what that looks like going forward. And your income's based on the shopping volume of the shopping community and the points that you create each month. So let's go back to what I just said. What we're promoting is if you can get, let's say it takes you 1 month, 2 months, how many ever months it takes you to get to 1,000 points in 1 month. You can do it in 1 month. You could do it in less than 1 month if that's your goals and wishes. But if you get to 1,000 points, 5 people doing this, you're going to understand the system. You're going to be able to teach the system to your new recruits. I believe doing something 5 times, you should be able to pick up how the system works. And you'll be at 5,000 points. If you teach 5 people to get to 5,000 points, you're going to be at 25,000 points. If you're 5 people at 25,000 points, teaches 5 more people to do the same thing, now potentially you're at 150,000 points. Do you think in the next 6 months, a year, 2 years, if you could get 5 years, 10 years, that you're earning $4,500 to $13,500 a month, would that be something that's agreeable to you? To me, I'd be pretty happy if I got to that, but my goals are level 7 and above, like level 8 and above. But again, the great part about what this program is, whether I'm the presenter or I'm listening to somebody else present, once I get to a level 7 qualify and then confirm, everybody that I've trained, no matter whose team they're on, no matter how successful they are, I get a small portion of their shopping. Cool.
Mm-hmm. So are you ready to earn a little more money than you're earning now? Can you see yourself sharing this? And you don't have to be the presenter. You don't have to know it all. You still get paid whether you understand it or not. All you need to do, sign up as a marketer. We're going to help you. Invite a couple of friends to the next presentation. And then you too can start building a shopping community worldwide.
So what I'd like to kind of say about this particular slide is I was in another networking that said, do you think in the next 2 months you could do nothing? Or next 2 weeks you could do nothing? And people kind of go to the, like, what are you talking about, nothing? He says, well, do you think you could do nothing in the next 2 weeks? And they go, pretty much everybody goes, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been in networking before and nothing's happened in 2 weeks. Well, do you think you could do next to nothing? Do you think you could invite one person to see this presentation and get them excited? Most people go, yeah, you know what? Next to nothing, I could probably do that twice a month. And we showed the slides earlier that said, this is what your potential income is. Well, what if every time you sign someone up and you just thought mentally, do you think I could do next to nothing again? Don't worry about the one that you got. Just think, you know what? That one's gone. And I'm helping that person now. What if I just did next to nothing again? If you did next to nothing 5 times, remember the income that we showed you. Just as a side thought, kind of going, do you think you could do next to nothing?
Nice. So become a LycoNet marketer if you're not already, and get the person who invited you to help you with that. You decide what you want to start with. 1 unit, 4 units, 7 units, or more. You don't have to limit yourself to that. It all depends on your goals. Remember, you get paid at least $765 for each unit you have. So it depends on your goals and your budget. So keep that in mind. You set your goals. We help you with the strategy, and commit to at least 6 months on Easy Shop Plus. We all believe that at the end of 6 months, you're going to see the value. You're not going to want to stop. And it can change your lives. And while you're doing this, you're changing the lives of other people too, because you don't know who among your friends is really thinking they need something to help them in their financial world. They're looking for a solution, and this could be it for them too.
So myself as a financial advisor, what we were taught was 90% of all people are not going to get to retirement. So if you think who needs, well, 90%. That's a pretty big number. So if you're on a bus and there's 30 people, you know what? 27 of those 30 people need our help. And that's how I was kind of described in the financial industry. So what we have is we have a couple great tools that we've come up with. Ours is www.mycashback.ca. When you log onto that site, you're looking for the shopping community button to push. And once you put that button, then you're going to find mycashback.ca. And to learn how to be a shopper, you may or may not understand the program. If we've shown you previous videos, it'll show how to go shopping. So you press the shopping button, and it has a drop down. You can do this on your phone, or you can do it on a computer like we're on right now. And it just basically runs through about 10 different videos. It takes about 45 minutes. And that'll answer about 85 to 90% of how the shopping works. Pretty cool system. The cashback.club focuses more on the LycoNet marketing part of it. And I've had business owners who have taken the time out to go on the cashback.club. They spent about 4 hours, 4.5 hours just clicking, rewinding. And when they came back to me the next day, they said, this is brilliant as a merchant. How do I become a merchant, and how do I sign up? So on Tuesday nights at 7:30, we do a basic presentation that says, hi, what are you doing now? Do you think you're going to get to retirement with what you're doing right now? And we don't give any numbers. For the first, takes about 40 minutes, rough guess. On Thursday nights, basically we do this presentation or one other one that kind of shows how the units work, and we go from there. Friday nights, my wife is Philippine. If you think this is good, In the Philippines, this is more than good. In a level 1 person, you can earn between 13 and 15,000 pesos a month. And we showed in Canada that's 150 to 450 a month. In a level 2 person, you could earn between 25 and 30,000 pesos, following exactly the same system. And I walk you through step by step on how potentially the system works in the Philippines. We do it at 8 o'clock on Mountain Standard Time, and it's about 11 o'clock in the morning in the Philippines. I do recognize that there is potential problems with brownouts with power or blackouts with power. I do recognize that depends on how good the internet is in the town that you're in. So again, you can promote this worldwide from being in the Philippines, and you can build a shopping community around the world. And that's basically, I want to thank you for taking the time out to listen to us. And if you happen to have any questions, get back to the person that invited you, and we can go from there. Thank you very much. Did you have anything else to say, Arlene?
No, that's it.
Cool.
Good job.
So I'll stop recording.